food is good.
La comida es rica.
I like to eat it.
Me gusta comerla.
I like fruit.
Me gusta la fruta.
Okay, I'm using 3 pounds of pork, which is really 1 pound bone, and 2 pounds of the pork meat itself. I'm going to use the bone, so that's okay. I'm not going to use the fat. Remove the fat. That's quite a bit of amount. I still have about 2 pounds of pork meat, but in this case also you need to cut the pork meat into good sized chunks, at least say 2 inches for a New Mexico style green chili stew. Okay, see this? About that size. You need a pound of New Mexico roasted green chili, which has been chopped in good pieces as well. You don't want them diced so that they don't look like canned chili. You want people to know this is fresh chili that you yourself chopped. Okay, next I cut up 4 about that size russet potatoes. This works out to about a pound of potatoes, and see how they're diced. This is the size, about the size that you want them. That's so that they cook easy. Because I'm making this in the crock pot, I don't want them too large and too thick, otherwise they'll still be al dente in the morning, whereas everything else will be well cooked. Okay, the other ingredients are going to include peppercorns. There's about 15 or 20 peppercorns, whole, not cracked. Just put them in whole like that. You can use one variety or you can use a mixed variety. Don't add more than, like I have there, about 15 or 20 peppercorns. That's going to be just tossed right in the pot. Onion, this is about 1/2 of a medium onion, or maybe a little bit larger than medium. 2 cups of diced tomatoes. This happens to be right from a can. About 1 cup of chopped cilantro. 2 tablespoons of cumin powder, comino, and about as you can see here, it's about 1 tablespoon of chopped garlic. Chop it kind of rough. Can you see that? So that's chopped garlic. That happens to be about 4 cloves about this size or so. Okay, now the other thing is salt. And of course, you, in this case here, I'm making this in a crock pot, so you'll have to adjust your cooking times. Okay, I want to talk about the crock pot. This is a large crock pot. I didn't check to see how many quarts it is, but it's pretty big. Okay, that's because I'm making quite a bit, taking it to work tomorrow. As you can see, there's paper inside. This is wax paper. See that? I don't buy the expensive crock pot bags, but I'm also not fond of having to scrub out a pot. Not a problem with this. If you leave it overhanging like this, in the morning you just pull the paper off. If it tears, then you'll have to be a little more careful about it. You can actually even move the contents from here into another bowl. Okay, so this is going to be the container for the green chili stew. And of course, as you know, I always make chicken for old Speck, my buddy Speck, and this is what's left of it since I made the tomatillo chili verde earlier. So it's going to be this chicken stock and water to cover, and as you'll see, it'll only be about 2 inches from the top. Okay, let's get started. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to sear or brown the pork, and then it's going to go right into the crock pot. I've already put the chicken stock in the crock pot, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bone, which still has some meat attached to it, I'm putting that into the crock pot because I'm going to the entire bone itself will add more flavor to it, and I can always take the meat off after it's cooked. Meanwhile, I'm heating up my cast iron pan here, and now I'm going to brown the pork. I've got about a tablespoon of oil in there, so that'll help it fry out. I'm going to do this in 2 batches, and part of that reason is I always do that to make sure I have room in my crock pot. While that's happening, I'm going to put some of the other ingredients in the crock pot. Move this over here for now. I have it already preheated. So here go the potatoes. In my crock pot, the reason I want the potatoes at the bottom is so that the heat hopefully they'll cook faster. I'm going to add some of the green chili on top of the potatoes. The other green chili I'm going to put on top of the meat. Okay, so that's about half. Here's the cilantro. I'm going to save a little bit just for appearance sake in the morning. Here's the onions. See, it already looks like it's filling way up. Here's the peppercorns. And some of the diced tomatoes. Here's the garlic. Look at that garlic. Now, comino is a secret really to a good New Mexico green chili stew. You can omit the meat as long as you have comino and green chili, and you'll be fine. Okay, see how that meat is brown? The pork is not cooked. You know, pork has to be very well cooked, but this is sufficient. It's just browning it, and then it'll cook really good in the slow cooker overnight. See that? Now I'm going to get the other meat, the other pork, and put it in there as well, but first I'm going to add some more water and the rest of the ingredients. You saw that I put, it was probably about 2 cups of the chicken broth in there, and I used about I make that 1 cup of water, which brought the level up. Can you see that? So it's down below the rim here, down to about here. You don't need to cover the whole dish with liquid, because the liquid's going to remain inside, and that's the idea of a slow cooker working. I also added 1 tablespoon of salt. I use sea salt. We shall see in the morning if more salt is going to be needed. Okay, let's check this out. I've got this set to high. You might have instructions that say to leave it on high for 1 hour and then turn it down to low after an hour. But because I put the meat in that fry pan right there and it went in hot, and I also had the chicken stock which was hot, this whole product is ready to go. In fact, it's the pot itself is already very hot. So I'm putting it to low. It's 9:36 p.m. and we'll check it in the morning. Ay, que bueno! Okay, let's check it. There's the time. 4:40 a.m. Well, it's looking pretty good. You can see right there that see how the meat is falling off the bone there. Notice it's bubbling. Okay. Now let's see if this is going to work on camera. Yeah. Paper slides right out. Okay, pretty good, huh? Let's see. The biggest worry I ever have in slow cookers is that potato, because if you get, you know, I don't know if it's old potatoes or the kind of potato, sometimes it's just not quite cooked. Let's see, I don't know if you can see this here, but yeah, that's pretty good. That's a successful. That is a good Chile Verde, New Mexico style.
¡Ay, qué bueno, señor vecino!
Food is good, la comida es rica.
I like to eat it.
Me gusta comerla.
I like